I was 17. Strict family. No night stays. So when my best friend begged me to come over just once, I lied at home and said I had group study. Her house had 3 floors. Parents on the first, older brother on the second, she and her older sister on the third. Everything felt normal. Too normal. Her parents were polite, smiling, almost relieved to see me. I remember her mom saying, "Good, she won't be alone tonight." I didn't think much of it. Around midnight, my friend got overly excited and drank more than she should have. She passed out fast. That part still bothers me. She doesn't usually drink. It was just me and her older sister awake. The sister kept glancing at the hallway, like she was waiting for something. I wandered around and found that small side room. 2 wooden hanging dolls, torso carvings, no legs. They were facing the hallway, not facing each other, facing outward. When I asked about them, her sister immediately pulled me away. "Don't look at them too long." Her voice wasn't scared, it was irritated. Back in the bedroom, she told me she'd tried throwing them away, that they always come back. Her story felt rehearsed, like she had told it before. Then she checked her phone. 1:57 a.m. She swallowed. "They knock at 2. I felt cold instantly. 2 a.m. 3 knocks. Slow, controlled, from the bedroom door. My friend didn't wake up, not even slightly. We stared at the door. Another 3 knocks, then silence. I whispered, "Shouldn't your parents hear that?" She didn't answer. We didn't scream, we didn't move. We just waited. At 5 a.m., her mom opened the door calmly. "Why didn't you sleep?" Her tone wasn't confused. It was disappointed. I left immediately. I cut contact, blocked everyone. That should have been the end. But 3 months later, something happened. A mutual acquaintance texted me, "Why didn't you come to the funeral?" I froze. "What funeral?" She replied, "Your friend's sister." Apparently she died the night I stayed over, around 2 a.m. Cardiac arrest, they said. She was found in her room on the 3rd floor, alone. Time of death estimated between 1:50 and 2:10 a.m. I stopped breathing when I read that, because at 2 a.m. she was sitting right next to me, watching the door, waiting for the knock. I thought maybe they got dates mixed up, but then I checked something. I went back to her old social media. The sister hadn't posted anything after that night, and in the background of older pictures, the doll room was always empty. No hanging figures. The room was used for storage. There were never dolls. I messaged my old friend once, just once. I asked, "Why did your mom say you wouldn't be alone that night?" She never replied, but she didn't block me. She just sent one message. "You weren't." Hey, I don't think this is paranormal. I think it's worse. I live alone in a small rented house. It's old, slightly creaky, but safe. Quiet neighborhood. When I moved in, the landlord gave me 2 keys. "One for you, one spare," he said. I kept the spare in a small ceramic bowl near the entrance, just in case I ever locked myself out. About 3 weeks ago, I started noticing tiny things. Nothing dramatic. My shoes slightly misaligned, kitchen cabinet open a little, TV remote not exactly where I left it. I brushed it off. I'm messy sometimes. Then one night, around 11:40 p.m., I came home from work. The spare key wasn't in the bowl. I assumed I moved it. I searched the kitchen counter, my bag, my bedroom drawer. Nothing. I figured maybe I accidentally left it in the door once and forgot. It bothered me, but not enough to panic. 2 nights later, I woke up around 2 a.m. to the sound of a soft metallic clink, like keys touching each other. It came from the hallway. I sat up, heart pounding. Silence. I grabbed my phone's flashlight and checked the house. Empty. Front door locked. Windows locked. I told myself it was the heater or pipes. The next morning, I found the spare key, back in the ceramic bowl, exactly where it used to be. I stood there staring at it for a full minute. I live alone. No one else has access. I didn't want to sound crazy, so I didn't tell anyone. A few days passed. Then something happened that I can't explain. I came home early from work, around 6 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. As I walked up to the house, I noticed something small. The porch light was on. I never leave it on during the day. And through the living room window, I saw the TV flicker, like it had just been turned off. I froze. I opened the front door quietly. Everything looked normal. TV off, couch empty. No noise. I checked every room. Nothing. But in the bedroom, the bed was slightly unmade. Not messy, just like someone had sat on it. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 1 a.m., I heard something in the hallway. Not footsteps. Breathing. Slow. Controlled. From just outside my bedroom door. I whispered, "Hello?" Silence. Then I heard it. The faint sound of metal scraping against ceramic from the front entrance, like a key being placed back into a bowl. I didn't move. I stayed in my room until morning. When sunlight came in, I walked slowly to the entrance. The spare key was in the bowl, but it wasn't alone. There were 2 keys in the bowl, identical, same brand, same scratches, same small chip on the edge. I stood there trying to understand. The landlord only gave me 2 keys, one for me, one spare, which means someone made a copy and didn't need the spare anymore. I changed the locks that day. The locksmith asked me something strange. "Did you know your old lock shows almost no forced wear?" I asked what that meant. He said, "Usually when someone uses a copied key over time, there's slight scratch damage inside the cylinder. Yours looks like the original key has been used consistently." I told him I only use my main key. He just nodded. I don't keep the spare key inside anymore. I don't keep it anywhere, because I realized something after replaying everything in my head. The nights I heard breathing were always on days I came home late, and the one day I came home early, the TV flickered off. The bed was warm, like someone had just gotten up. I don't think the spare key was being taken. I think it was being returned. When I was 16, my friend invited me for my first sleepover. Her family wasn't strict, mine was. Before I left, my mom said, "Call me if anything feels wrong." I laughed. What could go wrong? When I reached her house, everything looked normal. Too normal. Her parents didn't ask me any questions. They didn't even look at me properly. Her mom just said, "Shoes outside." That's it. We went upstairs to her room. On the wall, there was a small sticky note. It said, "Rule number 3, don't open the bathroom cabinet." I laughed and asked her what that was about. She said, "Oh, just ignore it." There were no other rules visible, just rule number 3. That's what bothered me. Where were rules 1 and 2? We watched movies, talked, scrolled on our phones. At around 11 p.m., she said she was going to shower. I was alone in the room. The sticky note kept bothering me. Why specifically the bathroom cabinet? It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't creepy handwriting. It was written casually. That made it worse. I told myself I wouldn't open it, but curiosity is stupid. I went inside the bathroom, opened the cabinet. Inside, there were printed photos, dozens of them. Photos of her room, from different angles, different days. Some from outside the window, some from inside the cupboard, some from under the bed. I felt my throat go dry. And then I saw something worse. In a few photos, I was there, from previous visits, standing near the window, looking at my phone. Photos I didn't know were taken. My heart started racing. At the back of the cabinet was another sticky note. Rule number 1, pretend you don't notice. Rule number 2, never ask who took them. My hands were shaking. I closed the cabinet, went back to her room. She was already sitting on the bed, dry hair, not wet. She hadn't showered. She looked at me and asked calmly, "You opened it, didn't you?" I couldn't speak. She didn't look angry. She looked disappointed, like I failed a test. Then she said something that still makes me uncomfortable. "It's okay. They already know you're here." I didn't stay the night. I made an excuse and left, blocked her. Years later, I found out something. Her family never reported a burglary, but the police had visited their house multiple times because neighbors complained about someone being seen near the 3rd floor window at night. Her house only has 2 floors.
That's the end of tonight's stories. If any of them stayed with you, you know which one. Let me know in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe. I'll see you soon.